in a hallway of ice, paying the silence a heavy, cold price. Winter moved in when you walked out the door, and I haven't felt the sun on my face, and it's shifting, watching the ghost of our January pass. And I'm throwing frozen tears in the middle of May, feeling the salt wash the numbness away. It's a slow motion flood, it's a stinging release of the war in my chest that I mistook for peace. Giving back, all breaking, the water is deep. Giving back all the secrets I tried hard to keep. The furnace is humming, the windows are wet with the moisture of things I can't quite forget. I thought if I froze, I wouldn't feel the sting, but you can't stop the change that a heart in the frost is a puddle on the floor, and a love that is lost. It hurts more to melt than it did to stay cold, to admit that the story is finally told. But the river is rising, the banks are all gone, and I'm drifting away toward a watery dawn. And I'm throwing frozen tears in the middle of May, feeling the salt wash the numbness away. It's a slow motion flood, it's a stinging release of the war in my chest that I mistook for peace. Giving back all the secrets I tried hard to keep. Drip from the edge of my chin, let the world finally back in. The thaw is here, the end is clear, gone. I'm standing at the corner of a street I used to know, but the pavement feels like corner of a street I used to know. You were the North Star, the only light I'd ever need. Now I'm staring at a map that I can no longer read. The ink is blurred by salt, the lines are fading fast. I'm a ghost inside a future that belongs to someone's past. And I'm spinning in the silence of this empty space, trying to find a memory that time didn't erase. Every road I take leads back to where you left me, in a world so wide I'm drowning in a dead sea. My heart is just a needle shaking in the dark, searching for a home that no longer has a spark. How do I move on when the truth is finally honest? I've got a broken compass and I'm losing every promise. I've got a broken every promise. The radio is playing that song you used to hum. Now it's just a hollow rhythm, like a steady aching drum. But every sunset looks like gray because it isn't shared with you. I'm checking all the mirrors, looking for a sign that I didn't lose my soul the night you said you weren't mine. They say that time's a healer, that the path will soon appear, but the fog is getting thicker with every passing year. I'm walking in circles, wearing holes into my shoes. When you're the one I follow, I've got everything to lose.
gone. South is just a memory. I'm still here, but I don't know who me is anymore. Just a needle spinning in the dark.
The shore we built is washing out to sea, and I'm standing where the dry land used to be. I watch the horizon, I watch for the change, but the blue turned to black and the world feels so strange. Your hand was the anchor, your word was the line. Now I'm drifting in water that used to be wine. The moon is a witness, cold and so high, watching the reflection of us start to die. I'm gasping for air while the salt fills my chest. Give me 1 minute of silence to rest, because there's a dark tide rising in the middle of the night, and I've lost the strength to put up a fight. It's pulling me under, it's dragging me deep into the secrets that you couldn't keep. I'm reaching for surface, I'm reaching for you. But the waves are too heavy to let me get through. Just a heartbeat away from the floor of the sea. The dark tide is all that is left of you and me. The things that we whispered are buried in sand. Beneath the current I don't understand. I try to swim back to the person I was, but the ocean doesn't care about should be or does. It just keeps on crashing, it just keeps on cold, breaking the promises we used to hold. Is there a lighthouse left in your eyes, or just the storm clouds and the hollow goodbyes? I'm tired of treading, I'm tired of the weight of a love that turned heavy and turned into fate. Yeah, there's a dark tide rising in the middle of the night, and I've lost the strength to put up a fight. It's pulling me under, it's dragging me deep into the secrets that you couldn't keep. I'm reaching for surface, I'm reaching for you. But the waves are too heavy to let me get through. Just a heartbeat away from the floor of the sea. The dark tide is all that is left of you and me. Coming in, going out. The water is rising, I can't see the shore anymore. Just the dark, just the tide. The air in this room is a thin, jagged blade, and I'm shivering here in the mess that we made. I can't even brush my own skin with my hand without feeling the ghost of the life that we planned. Every floorboard is humming a song of your name. Every floorboard is humming like a song of your name. The silence is burning like a slow motion flame. Don't tell me it's over, don't tell me I'm free. Don't tell me it's over, don't tell me I'm free, when every atom of you is still tangled in me. I'm stripped of the armor, I'm stripped of the skin, and I don't know where us ends and I should begin. I'm just a raw nerve ending in a world made of glass, watching the shadows of everything pass. Every word is a needle, every weight of this thing. You're the static in my head, you're the ache in my chest, a pulse that won't quiet, a heart without rest. I'm exposed to the cold, I'm exposed to the truth. I'm a raw nerve ending since I lost my youth in you. The coffee is bitter, the morning is bright, and it hurts just to look at the simplest light. I'm avoiding the places we used to go down, because your ghost is the mayor of this entire town. One accent is the mayor of this entire town. One accidental mention, one look in the street, and the ground starts to crumble underneath my feet. Is there a bandage for a soul that's been flayed? A way to turn back all the games that we played? I'm screaming in colors that no one can see. nothing new, so don't touch me.
It's too much. Everything's too loud. Everything's too loud. Everything's too close. Just a nerve still sparking in the dark. The apology arrived like a letter in the rain, smudged and unreadable, adding to the pain.
I was finally stitching the edges of the tear, learning how to breathe in the thinned out air. Then you showed up with a how have you been, and the bleeding started all over again. You say you're sorry, like that's a cure, but your touch is a poison, cold and sure. I was almost steady, I was almost dried, until you cracked the shell I was building inside. Now it's just salt in the wound, sting in the soul. You're tearing the parts that were starting to feel whole. Don't tell me you miss me, don't call me my dear, when you're the very reason that I'm standing here. With a heart like an open, the thunder, the clap. Every I love you is a grain in the cut. Keep your mercy, my eyes are already shut. It's just salt in the wound. You're looking for a ghost in the person I've become, but that girl is quiet, that girl is numb. I remember the sweetness, the sugar on your tongue, back when the world and our shadows were young. But the sugar turned bitter, the honey turned sharp, and you're playing the nerves of my ribs like a harp. There's no such thing as a friendly goodbye when there's still a fire behind every lie.
You're rubbing it in, though you swear that you're kind, leaving the wreckage of us far behind.
Yeah, it's salt in the wound, sting in the soul. You're tearing the parts that were starting to feel whole. Don't tell me you miss me, don't call me my dear, when you're the very reason that I'm standing here. With a heart like an open, the thunder, the clap. Every I love you is a grain in the cut. Keep your mercy, my eyes are already shut. It's just salt in the wound. It burns. God, it burns. Stop trying to fix what you're still breaking. Just leave the scar alone. Let it heal without your salt. I used to build a path to every heart I knew, but the longest, brightest road always led to you. I kept the torches lit, I kept the wood piled high, just to see your silhouette against evening sky. But you crossed the line and then you kicked the stones. Now I'm standing in a wreckage I can feel inside my bones. I'm turning back the clock, I'm locking every door. I can't afford to let the sunlight hit the floor. The only way to stop the ghost from coming through is to destroy the very part of me that's built for you. And I'm burning bridges inward, one by one, watching every memory turn to ash beneath the sun. I'm cutting off the access, I'm tearing down the tracks. There's a fire in the hallway and I'm not looking back. If I have to be a fortress, if I have to be a wall, then I'll watch the inner architecture start to fall. I'm saving what is left of a heart that's lost its light by burning bridges inward tonight. The kitchen where we danced, the porch where we would dream. It's all going up in smoke,
or so it's gonna seem. I'm unlearning your rhythm, I'm unnaming your face. Clear out the shadows from every hollow space.
It's a lonely kind of safety, a cold kind of peace. To find a way to make the constant aching cease. They say don't burn your bridges, but they don't understand that some roads lead to places where you cannot stand. I'd rather be an island surrounded by the flame than spend another second whispering your name. Yeah, I'm burning bridges inward, one by one, watching every memory turn to ash beneath the sun. I'm cutting off the excess, I'm tearing down the tracks. There's a fire in the hallway and I'm not looking back. If I have to be a fortress, if I have to be a wall, then I'll watch the inner architecture start to fall. I'm saving what is left of a heart that's lost its light by burning bridges inward tonight. Let it burn, the way back is gone. I'm safe in the smoke, I'm quiet in the heat, I'm quiet in the heat and the ash. The coffee's gone cold in a cup for two. I'm still making space in the bed for you, but the house has a way of holding its breath, like a summer garden facing its death. I can see my breath in the living room air, tracing the outline of your empty chair. The garden is silver, the sky is a bruise. The garden is silver, the sky is a bruise. And I'm just a man with nothing to lose. I try to look out, I try to see the street, but the glass is a barrier, cold and complete. The world is a blur of white and of gray, as the warmth of your memory starts to slip away. And there's frost on the windows, lace on the pane, hiding in the spots where I whispered your name. It's creeping in silence that secrets can keep. I'm etching a heart in the ice with my thumb, waiting for a feeling that's never gonna come. My soul's in time like a rose last petal, just frost on the windows and ice in my chest. I remember the steam from the shower at night, when the mirrors were foggy and the world was alright. Now the patterns are jagged, they're sharp and they're thin, and they won't let the morning light wander back in. I'm pulling the curtains, I'm lighting a fire, but it can't burn as high as my lonely desire. If I breathe on the glass, can I melt the regret? Or is this the part where I have to forget? The patterns are beautiful, cruel and precise. A love that was fire, now trapped under ice, now trapped under ice. Yeah, there's frost on the windows, lace on the pane, hiding in the spots where I whispered your name. It's creeping in silence that secrets can keep. I'm etching a heart in the ice with my thumb, waiting for a feeling that's never gonna come. My soul's in time like a rose last petal, just frost on the windows and ice in my chest. It's getting so cold, the patterns are spreading. I can't see the driveway anymore. I can't see the way back, just the white, just the winter. I left the porch light on, but the bulb finally burned out. Just like the things we used to never doubt. The summer we shared is a ghost in the trees, and I'm left here shaking, down on my knees. The gold turned to iron, the green turned to rust, and everything sacred is turning to dust. I'm pulling my coat tight, I'm locking the gate, but you can't bar the door against a love turned to fate. It doesn't need a key, it doesn't need a sound to knock all my defenses straight to the ground. 'Cause there's a bitter north wind blowing through my soul, taking the pieces that used to be whole. It's whistling through the cracks where you used to reside, leaving nowhere for a broken man to hide. It's sharp as a razor, it's cold as you know. Every direction is a place I can't go. I'm a leaf on the pavement, I'm a scrap in the sky, caught in the draft of your final goodbye. Yeah, that bitter north wind is all that I've got. The map on the table is covered in grit, and I'm tired of trying to make sense of it. You headed south where the weather is kind, leaving the winter and me far behind. Now the sky is a ceiling of heavy dark lead, and I'm haunted by every word that we said. How does a heart stay warm in the gale? How does a ship keep its course with a torn up sail? I'm freezing in place while you're chasing the sun, and I'm paying the price for the things we've undone. Yeah, there's a bitter north wind blowing through my soul, taking the pieces that used to be whole. It's whistling through the cracks where you used to reside, leaving nowhere for a broken man to hide. It's sharp as a razor, it's cold as you know. Every direction is a place I can't go. I'm a leaf on the pavement, I'm a scrap in the sky, caught in the draft of your final goodbye. And the bitter north wind is all that I've got. It's cutting right through me, the marrow, just the wind and the sound of being alone. The silence in this kitchen is a mile thick. I'm counting every second, every hollow tick. I've spent 1,000 winters behind a wall of blue. I thought if I stayed frozen I wouldn't feel the sting, but there's a strange cruel mercy in what the seasons bring. The sun is hitting the floorboards a pale and sickly gold, and I can feel the shaking in the center of the cold. The edges are softening, the white is turning gray. I'm terrified of pieces that of pieces. It was easier in the ice, but the sky is demanding a heavy, heavy price. And it's a glacial heart thaw, slow and full of pain. The rivers are rising with the salt and the rain. I'm cracking down the middle, I'm breaking at the seams, flooding all the valleys of my dead and dusty dreams, finding all the parts of me that still belong to you. It's a long way to spring and it's a hard way to fall when a glacial heart thaw is tearing down the wall. The water is rising. The things I froze on purpose are drifting to the top. The I love yous and the pleases that I couldn't make stop. They're dripping off the rafters, they're pooling at my feet, turning every memory into a flooded feet, turning every memory into a flooded street. I can't go back to winter, I can't find the shelf where I tucked away the better version of myself. They say the melt is healing, but it feels like drowning deep in the promises we made and the ones we couldn't keep. The ice was a bandage, the ice was a lie, and now I have to watch the frozen version of us die.
ice is all gone. I'm just a wet, shivering soul in the early dawn. Drip. It's finally over. The furnace is humming, but the house is still gray. I'm watching the shadows of the light slip away. I've wrapped every blanket around my thin frame, but they don't hold the heat of the sound of your name. The pillows are boulders, the sheets are like stone in a kingdom of static where I sit alone. I'm reaching for a phantom, a warmth that's long gone, counting the hours till a pale hollow dawn. My skin is a map of the places you touched, and it's cold, God, it's cold when you've lost so much. And I'm just a shiver in the dark, the ghost in the hall, waiting for a footstep that's never gonna fall. I'm a vibration of maybe a pulse of comeback, lost in the middle of the blue and the black. The stars are all frozen, the moon is a spark, and I'm nothing more than a shiver in the dark. The tea on the table is a stagnant dark well, reflecting a version of a story I can tell. I try to stand steady, I try to be brave, but I'm just a ripple on the top of a wave. One memory hits me, one scent on a coat, and the ice starts to settle in the back of my throat. Is there a fireplace deep in the mind where the memories are gentle and the endings are kind? Because out here it's bitter, out here it's a gale, and my spirit is thin, and my spirit is thin, and my spirit is frail. Corner, can you see me? Does it matter? Still shaking, still dark. I brought a bouquet of the flowers you liked, but the color looks wrong in this world of white. The ground is a fortress, iron and deep, guarding the secrets that you had to keep. I'm clearing the marble with my bare shaking hands, but the sky doesn't care about my selfish plans. The air is a heavy, invisible weight, and I'm just a beggar at a locked iron gate. I'm calling your name into a canyon of gray, but the wind only carries the echoes away. And it's just a snow-covered grave in the corner of town, where the weight of the winter is settling down. I'm looking for warmth, I'm looking for us, but the gold in my heart is turning to rust. There's no way to reach you, no way to be heard, in a world that is muffled, in a world without words. I'm kneeling in silence, I'm freezing in place, over uncovered grave, and a ghost of your face. The footprints I left are already filled in, like I never existed, like I've never been. I remember your laughter, the way that you breathed, before the whole world was suddenly bereaved. Now the trees are all skeletons, black against blue, and I'm just a body that's missing half of you. Is it quiet down there? Is it peaceful and still? While I'm up here fighting the ache and the chill, I'd lie down beside you and close my own eyes if it meant I could wake up under different skies.
And it is just a snow-covered grave in the corner of town, where the weight of the winter is settling down. I'm looking for warmth, I'm looking for us, but the gold in my heart is turning to rust. There's no way to reach you, no way to be heard, in a world that is muffled, in a world without words. I'm kneeling in silence, I'm freezing in place, over a covered grave,
And the ghost of your face.
Sleep well, my darling, the white is so thick, the silence is long, just a mound in the field.
The sun must have forgotten how to break through the clouds. Everything's muffled like the city's in shrouds. I'm watching the pigeons on the wet windowsill. I'm watching the pigeons on the wet windowsill, while the clock on the mantle is standing dead still. I reach for your side of the mattress, it's cold, like a story that's ended before it was told. The coffee is tasteless, the morning is dim, and I'm drowning in a memory I can't learn to swim. There's no thunder to scream, there's no lightning to cry, just a permanent shadow draped over the sky. It's a quiet disaster, a soft-spoken grief that offers no anger and brings no relief. It's just a gray sky morning, a low-hanging egg for a promise you pavement, no wind to clear the air, just a heavy hollow ceiling hanging over everywhere. I'm living in the middle of a world without a hue, yeah, it's a gray sky morning, and it never turns to blue. I see people walking with their collars turned up, while I'm staring at the dregs in the bottom of my cup, while I'm staring at the dregs in the bottom of my cup. They don't see the ghost that is walking by my side, the one with your eyes and the secrets we'd hide. I try to remember the sting of the light, but it's hard to recall when everything's white, just a pale washed out version of the life that we knew before the horizon was stolen by you. If the storm would just break, I could finally bleed. If the clouds would just open, I'd get what I need, but it's stuck in the static, it's trapped in the mist, the ghost of a lover and a life that's unkissed. It's just a gray sky morning, a low-hanging egg for a promise you made, and a heart you had to break. No rain to wash the pavement, no wind to clear the air, just a heavy hollow ceiling hanging over everywhere. I'm living in the middle of a world without a hue. Everything's faded since I lost the gold in you. Yeah, it's a gray sky morning, and it never turns to blue. Still gray, still waiting for the light, but the clouds are so thick, and the world is so quiet, just me and the haze. I'm sitting on the porch in your old flannel shirt. I'm sitting on the porch in your old flannel shirt, trying to find the line where the numb meets the hurt. The porch light is flickering a dying yellow eye. The porch light is flickering a dying yellow eye, watching the heavy clouds crawl across the sky. I try to say your name just to see if I'm real, but the air is a blade made of carbon and steel. I open my mouth to call out for a friend, but the words are just ghosts that the winter won't lend. I'm exhaling the ghost of the life that we had, and the silence is making the mountain look sad. And it's just icicle breath, it's a fog in the dark, searching for a fire that's missing a spark. It's a wide-eyed sorry, a vapor of stay, watching the warmth of me drifting away. I'm a exhausted with the steam of my grief. And I'm looking for a season that offers relief. And I'm looking for a season that offers relief. But the patterns are jagged, they're sharp and they're thin, like the way that your goodbye got under my skin. Every exhale is a map of a place we can't go, disappearing in the shadows of the falling snow. If I stop breathing, will the world finally thaw? Or am I just a victim of a natural law? The colder it gets, the more I can see the shape of the space where you used to be. Yeah, it's just icicle breath, it's a fog in the dark, searching for a fire that's missing a spark. I'm breathing out memories, I'm breathing out pain, clouding the view through the salt and the rain. It's a wide-eyed sorry, a vapor of stain, watching the warmth of me drifting away. I'm a hollowed-out radiator losing the heat, just a shiver in the fog on a dead-end street. Can you see me? I'm right here in the cloud, in the cold. One last breath, then the ice takes hold. I'm still wearing the sweater you left on the chair. It smells like the coffee and the ghost of your hair. I watched the last leaf fall and hit the gray ground. Now the only thing left is this deafening sound of the clock on the wall ticking, offening sound of the clock on the wall ticking hours away, in a house where the sunlight has forgotten to stay. The calendar's frozen, the pages won't turn. There's a fire in the heart that's forgotten to burn. And it's a winter without any ending, a heart that's too tired for pretending. I'm reaching for hands that are no longer there, just breathing in ice and this cold empty air. You took all the summer when you said goodbye. Now there's nothing but white in a permanent sky. God, I'm so cold and I'm losing my friend in a winter without any end. I see your reflection in the frost on the pane, but I wipe it away and it's just me again. The neighbors are hanging their lights on the eaves, but I'm still back in August, still counting the leaves. Everything's quiet, buried in deep, in a bed where the memories won't let me sleep. They say that the seasons are supposed to change, that time makes the hollow feel a little less strange. But the mercury's dropped and it's staying at zero. I'm looking for warmth, I'm looking for my hero, but the ground is too hard for a flower to grow, and I'm just a shadow lost in the snow. And it's a winter without any ending, a heart that's too tired for pretending. I'm reaching for hands that are no longer there, just breathing in ice and this cold empty air. You took all the summer when you said goodbye. Now there's nothing but white in a permanent sky. God, I'm so cold and I'm losing my friend in a winter without any end. The snow's falling down, it's covering our tracks, and I'm starting to think that you're never coming back. Winter without end, winter without end. Just me and the wind. I pull the collar up to hide my shaking jaw. Since you left, I'm something nature didn't draw. The thermostat is screaming, pushing 95. But I'm a block of ice just trying to stay alive. I touched the countertop and felt the marble bite. Everything is sharpened by this hollow light. It's not the draft beneath the kitchen door. It's the way your shadow doesn't touch the floor. It's a brittle bone chill, a deep-seated ache, the kind of cold that makes the spirit start to flake. I'm walking soft because I'm scared I might just shatter into 1,000 pieces that no longer matter. You took the fever, you took the summer thrill, and left me here with this brittle bone chill. My pulse is moving slow, like honey in the dark. I tried to rub two memories just to find a spark. A frozen reservoir of everything I regret. I'm wearing layers just to feel some kind of weight, but gravity is failing in this lonely state. It's a brittle bone chill, a deep-seated ache, the kind of cold that makes the spirit start to flake. I'm walking soft because I'm scared I might just shatter into 1,000 pieces that no longer matter. You took the fever, you took the summer thrill, and left me here with this brittle bone chill. Snap like a twig in the February air. Crack like the silence when you aren't there. God, I'm fragile, so damn cold, brittle, brittle. I'm staring at the dust on the minute hand. I'm staring at the dust made of stolen sand. The coffee in my mug is turned to stone, and the silence in this kitchen has a skin and bone. I keep checking the doorway, expecting, but the world stopped spinning when you weren't around. But the world stopped spinning when you weren't around. The sun is stuck behind a jagged cloud, and the quiet is getting far too loud. Now I'm living in the space between the ticks, in a broken house that no one wants to fix. It's 12:42 and it's always will be, since the moment you turned your back on me. Time is a river that forgot how to flow, and I'm just a ghost with nowhere to go, stuck in the wreckage of a life we planned, watching these frozen clock hands. I tried to win the spring until my fingers bled. The gears are jammed with the words we never said. Outside the window, the birds are mid-flight, suspended like statues in a pale gray light. I wanna grow old, I wanna move on, but how'd I reach tomorrow when the morning is gone? The batteries died, or maybe I did too. I'm a Polaroid fading, a shade of deep blue. If I could just nudge it, just 1 second more, like back in your arms before you hit the door. Now I'm living in the space between the ticks, in a broken house that no one wants to fix. It's 12:42 and it's always will be. Time is a river that forgot
and you're still gone.
I reached out to touch the face I used to know, but the glass is a map of where the cracks began to grow. There's a lightning bolt running right through my eyes, dividing the truth from the comfort of the lies. I'm picking up pieces of a silverback dream, but nothing is ever as whole as it seems. One face is crying, the other is stone. I'm crowded by ghosts, but I'm standing alone. In this cracked mirror image, I'm falling apart, a jagged reflection of a splintered up heart. I don't recognize the woman staring back through the lies. Just a million distorted and broken designs. You took the hammer to the us that we built and left me submerged in the silver and guilt, looking for mercy in a jagged edge frame. But every sharp piece is screaming your name. There's a shard on the floor that still holds your smile. I haven't been able to breathe for a while. If I glue it all back, will the scars always show? Will the light hit the edges and let everyone know that I'm held together by habit and tape, a distorted version of my original shape? Break it again, it's already gone. The vanity's empty, the lights are all low. But the bathroom is cold and the hallway is wide, and there's nowhere for this broken shadow to hide. In this cracked mirror image, I'm falling apart, a jagged reflection of a splintered up heart. I don't recognize the woman staring back through the lies. Just a million distorted and broken designs. You took the hammer to the us that we built and left me submerged in the silver and guilt. Look me submerged in the silver and guilt, looking for mercy in a jagged edge frame. But every sharp piece is screaming your name. Be careful, the edges are sharp tonight. 7 years of bad luck, or just one long, lonely night. Fragmented, fractured, me and the glass. I'm standing in the hallway of a house that isn't built, tracing blueprints on the table, stained with coffee and with guilt. The architect left early. The architect left early and the crew never arrived, but I'm still living in the skeleton of what should have survived. There's a mark upon the drywall where the nursery was planned. Now it's just a patch of nothing in this hollow. Now it's just a patch of nothing in this hollow, quiet land. The foundation is cracked before the roof even went up, and I'm drinking bitter water from a half-painted cup. In these ruined home plans, I'm wandering through walls, listening for your footsteps in these non-existent halls. We had a vision of a garden, porch light and rain. Now I'm just a squatter in a monument of pain. You took the hammer to the us we were supposed to be, and left these ruined home plans to collapse on top of me. The swatches for the curtains are still sitting in a row, pale blues and forest greens that'll never get to show. I bought the heavy deadbolt to keep the world outside, but I didn't realize the danger was the ghost I had inside. Now the weeds are growing higher through the floorboards of my chest, and the birds are building houses where our heads were meant to rest. Burn the paper, tear the vellum, throw the compass in the dirt. Every measurement is perfect, every inch is just a hurt. You can build a sanctuary on a shifting sandy heart. You can finish what you didn't have the soul to even start. In these ruined home plans, I'm wandering through walls, listening for your footsteps in the wash away the thought of you, but I'm still holding the keys to a door that doesn't exist, ruined. Everything is ruined. Bought the tickets for the show in June. I even picked the paint for the spare bedroom. The calendar is full of circles and stars, of weekend trips and drives in our old car. But now the ink is bleeding on the page. But now the ink is bleeding, go center stage. In a play that closed before the lights went down. In a play that closed before the lights went down. In a quiet house, in a quiet town. I'm looking at a map of a place we'll never see, tripping over the person I was supposed to be. You took the Sunday and the wrinkled smile. I'm standing in the wreckage of a life we hadn't lived. Gave you ran off with the sunrise, left me in the gray. Now I'm just a shadow on a lonely empty way, counting my stolen future days. I see a couple walking down by the lake, and I have to turn my head for my own heart's sake. They're talking about the winter and the house they'll buy, while I'm just staring at a hollow. While I'm just staring at a hollow Tuesday sky. There's a graduation and a wedding in my head that are buried in the blankets of this empty bed. The invitations are ashes in the grave. The universe is closed and I'm standing at the gate. It's the anniversaries that haven't happened yet that are the hardest ones for a heart to forget. The Christmases we missed, the birthdays we missed, the birthdays in the dark, the way we would look walking through the park. You stole the movie before the ending played and left me in the theater, lonely and afraid. You took the Sunday and the after a while. You took the gray hair and the wrinkled smile. I'm standing in the wreckage of a life we hadn't lived. Gave you everything I had and all I had to give, but you ran off with the sunrise, left me in the gray. Now I'm just a shadow on a lonely empty way, counting my stolen future days. 2034, just numbers on a wall. I don't want them anymore. You took the S and left the then. Stolen, stolen. I'm striking matches in a drafty hallway, but the sulfur just stings and the smoke turns gray. I remember when your laugh was a lightning strike. Now I'm pedaling a ghost of an old broken bike. The battery's leaked and the acid is dry. There isn't a single star left in this kitchen sky. I'm rubbing two memories to find a glow, but the frost is already 6 inches below. It's a failed life spark, a flicker gone cold, a story that ended before it was told. I'm clicking the switch, but the bulb is just glass, watching the shadows of forever pass. You were the current, you were the wire. Now I'm just the ash of a vanished fire, standing in the dark of a hollow park, choking on the suit of a failed life spark. The neighbors' windows are golden and warm, but I'm just a silhouette caught in the storm. I try to remember the heat of your skin thin. I'm a pilot light that the wind blew out in a house built to silence and heavy set doubt. They say keep the fire burning, they say carry the torch, but the wood is all rotten on the front heaven's sake. Just a cold stone, just a black wig. The dark is too thick. I remember the neon and the rain on the street, the way that the pavement felt under our feet. We stopped at a window. We stopped at a window, a late night display where the glitter and promise don't look like the day. I spent my last 20 to see your eyes shine, thinking a circle could make you stay mine. But the velvet was dusty and make you stay mine. But the velvet was dusty and the glass was too thin, and I should have known in the state we were in. Now I'm staring at green on the side of my finger, where the ghost of a promise still manages to linger. It wasn't the carrot, it wasn't the weight, it was trust in a metal that wasn't our fate. You traded a lifetime for a moment of thrills and left me with nothing but heartache and bills. Yeah, we traded our souls for cheap gold rings. Now I'm learning the cost of those hollow things. The plating is chipping, the copper is bare, like the truth of the secrets you didn't want to share. It looked like a treasure in the dim yellow light, but it couldn't survive one real heavy night. I keep it in a drawer with the keys to the car, a souvenir of how very broken we are. They say that real gold has to pass through the flame to come out the other side without any shame. Hey, but we were just tinsel, we were just foil, ready to snap and ready to spoil. One little pull and the band came apart, just like the lies you fed to my heart. Now I'm staring at green on the side of my finger, where the ghost of a promise still manages to linger. It wasn't the carrot, it wasn't the weight, it was trust in a metal that wasn't our fate. You traded a lifetime for a moment of thrills and left me with nothing but heartache and bills. Yeah, we traded our souls for cheap gold rings. Now I'm learning the cost of those hollow things. Just a trinket, it's just a toy, the kind of forever turn my skin green, turn my heart black. And no matter the polish, the shine isn't coming back. I'm tracing the patterns you drew on my palm before the horizon lost all of its calm. You spoke in a whisper, a low steady hum, like a beautiful rhythm on a broken drum. I leaned in so close just to catch every breath, not knowing those words were the start of a death, of the us that I trusted, the we that I knew. Back when the sky was a different shade of blue, a shout would have hurt but a scream would be clean. It's the quietest daggers that cut the most mean. And I'm drowning in lies told softly, in the velvet and silk that have cost me so costly. You wrapped up the poison in a gentle I do, and I drank every drop just to stay close to you. It's the always you murmured while checking the door. I'm all yours while your heart hit the floor. I'd rather the thunder, I'd rather the rain than these lies told softly to cover the pain. The sheets are still straight on your side of the bed, like the neat little stories you put in my head. You never raised your voice, never slammed a single tray. You just quietly eroded my spirit away. It'll be home early, my spirit away, with it'll be home early and it's nothing, my dear, while the truth was a ghost that was standing right here. I was blinded by kindness, a surgical grace that carved out the hollow and took up the space. If you'd hated me loudly, I could have fought back. I could have seen shadows, I could have seen black.